Get this. Weekday mornings from 9 on Triple M.
Fifi Box is cheating on Marty Sheargold and sitting in with us today on Get This. And I've been trying to find some topics that we can mention. And is this true that there's going to be a movie where Paris Hilton plays Mother Teresa? Some director has decided that they look the same.
I've heard that, but that's a joke. I'm assuming. I thought it was just like an odd spot joke.
But it's so far towards the front of the newspaper that I'm assuming that something like that is going to happen. We did think of a lot of jokes, but we can't really say them on air.
Yeah, not one.
Not one. Could we put them on the podcast when that happens? Yeah. Mother Teresa with a mobile phone and... No, I can't say that.
None of them.
It looks great in print. just let everyone think of what the joke would have been. See, that's
there
great.
There we go, yeah. Filthy.
That's fantastic. Speaking of filth, what about the Italian Prime Minister?
Oh, Berlusconi.
Berlusconi has announced that anyone, like this is not just his rivals, this is like members of the general public, anyone who doesn't vote for him is a dickhead.
It's true.
Now, would that be, is that lost something in translation? What is the Italian?
I think it was much stronger language in Italian.
Really?
Yeah.
Dickhead. But wouldn't you just like to see our Prime Minister? You're a dickhead. If you're not voting for me, you're a bloody dickhead. I'd like to see a bit of that. But let's talk about romance and love, shall we? Because it is time to climb. Talk back.
Hey, I think I know what that is.
What is it, Ed?
Okay, I think there was, it's just come to In the Price is Right.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
There was that game where you had to guess, whether it was, $4 and you were like, $4.81, and you had and this little man climbed up a mountain,
right?
Depending on how close you were, and if he fell over the edge, I'm pretty sure that's the noise it made.
It is. It was my favourite part of The Price is Right. The yodeling man walking up the hill.
What was your least favourite part, Fifi? Oh, look, I once saw... No. Oh, no, not The Price is Right. I remember years ago, I wish I had got this on video. You remember on A Wheel of Fortune with, who was it, John Burgess?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a bit where you have $500 to spend, and there's a whole prize showcase. Yeah. What did you see?
No, I used to just love the slow panning, like past the the crystal and the Victor lawnmower all tricked up. I used to just love that shot.
Sort of erotic sort of close-ups of the cylindrical pewter. But I saw one where they go, okay, you've got $500 to spend. What do you want? And the guy goes, oh, geez, mate, I'll have the socket set. Okay, that's $85. Yeah, I'll have that T-square. It was like a T-square in there. Okay, that's $45. And what else do you want? Oh, mate, there's nothing else really that I want in there. I'll just take those two.
Any more T-squares?
That's not what we're talking about on Talkback Mountain. We're talking about seduction, because I figured you might know something about this, Fifi. Listen to this. There's been a study done. What is the best technique for seduction? Researchers hoping to find the answer are staging a mass speed dating experiment to reveal the most effective strategy for getting a partner over an evening of 500 dates. Have you ever been on one of those?
I haven't. I always wanted to do speed dating.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do
so
it.
do I. That'd be fun.
We can arrange that. Psychologists will tease out the topic of conversation that emerges as the best for showing quickly if a couple is suited or doomed to failure. Richard Wiseman, that's his name, a psychologist at the University of Hertfordshire, the University of Love, said that if you've only got a short period to talk to someone to get the measure of them, what should you talk to them about? In the experiment, singles will have 10 speed dates after being instructed to talk about different topics such as favourite film, musical tastes, or most embarrassing experience on each encounter. Some studies, you don't really need a study to tell you that your music collection gives away a great deal about who you are and whether or not you'll get on with someone. So there's a university that's getting into that. That's an important study. Forget that whole global warming issue. How do you bag a route in as quick a time as possible? Fifi, any ideas? What is the best sort of thing to bring up?
Look, I don't... The problem with me and giving tips on seduction is that I have a string of... Actually, on my whole 20s were committed to failing, doomed dating and relationships. And I've only just gotten very lucky because... I think the partner I have at the moment was going through a lull.
Right.
and he dropped his standards. So I've snared this, and I don't want to ruin it.
Oh dear.
I've always thought alcohol
Right.
clouds everything. So that's really been my technique.
So about a whole lot of people who are reaching for the phone have just gone, I've done that one. What about you, Ed? What do you go down this path of asking what films people like, what songs they like?
Well, my older brother, he used to pull me aside one day and said, Ed, best way to meet women is to develop a photographic memory. If you can remember everything that they've said to you, and then during the conversation kind of semi-quote it back to them and be interested, then you'll get some.
Right, because you wouldn't just be... Because you wouldn't be able to seem interested naturally. It's something you've really got to work at in a kind of creepy manner. That's what he's saying.
You're making it sound worse than it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is so true. I think the key to seduction, the most successful seducers, are just the one. Sounded graphic when I said it.
It does.
But are the ones that just make you think you're wonderful just by telling somebody, oh, that is fascinating. No, really, you're so good at that. Wow, what an honour to be sitting here with you. You've got the person, whether it's a male or female.
Well, they say, films and things, and this is in fact...
Yeah, what about you, Tony,
Well,
actually?
this is
this
is how I managed to lure my wife into the boat.
Oh.
My wife was this... See, this is how film knowledge comes in, because I am a nerd, as you can tell, even at this close proximity. My wife was the second assistant director on an American film called Passion Fish.
Oh, yes.
Do you know that
Yes,
film?
I know it.
1992.
With
Nominated...
the girl from China Beach.
Really? Alfre Woodard?
No.
No, it
wrong
stars
film.
Mary McDonnell. See, this
Is this working on you,
It's
Fifi?
the wrong movie.
This would be... Isn't this a great date we're on? But she was like, and I knew all about that. So I just knew. I knew that the film had been nominated for 2 Oscars, and I knew about John Sayles, the director, and she was so freaked out that someone would know about John Sayles. Bang! On the plane to Vegas. I wish I could describe the gesture you're making there, Ed.
What?
But then finally, an arcane knowledge of obscure films paid off.
Oh, hey!
Some action. So
I've never heard you say some action before.
it's early days.
Bang!
Wait till tomorrow's show. But look, what has been your surefire seduction technique?
This is great.
Fifi Box will be a fantastic judge of this. She's going to be, I reckon, a pretty tough judge. Is that what you're going to be?
I am. I'm going to be as close to Bernard King as I can get.
And you wouldn't be the first. We're climbing Talkback Mountain.
There it is.
We're looking for surefire seduction techniques.
Yeah.
I think we have Rohan on the line. Are you there, Rohan?
Hello.
Your surefire seduction technique.
Just ask the girl what her passion is. At that low point, when suddenly everything goes a bit pear-shaped, ask her what her passion is, and I'm married to the girl that I asked.
Is
that right?
Right. And what
Yeah.
was her passion?
What was her passion? Well, she was a Christian, so she went into the Christian spiel.
Oh, right.
And it went from there.
And that did it for you, Rohan?
I thought the answer was just going to be she was easily impressed. Went into the Christian spiel. They've got it down to a spiel now, have they?
Not bad.
Yeah, we need a version we can get out in nightclubs. Call the Pope, see if he can get it onto the back of it.
Mock up a spiel.
Something we can... Because frankly, that book, it doesn't fit into the back of your pocket.
No.
You're on the make. Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Rohan. The Christian spiel, that always does it.
You know it.
Yeah,
I've never bumped into the Christian spiel.
well, you'd be on the lookout for it.
I would be now.
Yeah. It's a dead set leg opener. We've got Colin on the line. Are you there, Colin?
Yeah, how you going?
Not
G'day.
bad. What's your what do you use?
You put a couple of fingers in your mouth, and then you wipe it on the lady's top,
Right.
and you say, how about I get you out of those wet clothes?
Oh, and that works for you every time?
Oh, look, it doesn't work every time, but it gets them laughing, and, you got them in the game then.
What percentage-wise? Like, if it's not every time, what kind of percentage, success rate, Colin?
We'll say 50.
Wow.
See, Colin, you'd have to be careful because, I find that revolting. And if you do that to someone with slight obsessive-compulsive disorder who has issues with germs, I'd have to go home and wash immediately.
You just put it on their top. It's not like you're going to wiping saliva across their face.
No.
No.
That would be tasteless.
It's got a lower success rate, that second move.
Right, so Colin seduces the ladies by applying his bodily fluids to their person. I think Megan is with us. Are you there, Megan?
I am. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you very much. And we've only been on for 4 days.
Sweet.
And already, so you're saying that a surefire seduction technique would be get your own radio show.
That's right.
No, what
Very
do you
good.
Come on, what do you use?
No, fishing. You got to go you go fishing, do a few full blood knots, couple of double uni knots.
What's a full blood knot?
Well, like to put the hook on, and you thread your worm in, and anyway, you do the whole country girl thing.
Oh, sorry, is this an elaborate metaphor, or are you actually talking about fishing? Real fishing?
Real fishing. Like you're taking out fishing for the day, like down in the country and do all this country stuff. And then...
Are you a country girl, Megan?
Yeah.
Ah.
and then at night you can show your other side as well. So it's a surefire. or else wear really low top with your best bra. That's good too.
All right, so if the elaborate aquatic ruse doesn't work, oh well, Norg's akimbo.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Plan B.
Took him out to sea. That didn't work. Check these out.
Check out the D's.
Have you ever thought of that?
Wow.
Fifi? Or just,
Fishing.
Yeah, fishing.
No, but Megan did remind me that I've just realised really the surefire technique that I've always used is lying. Yeah, because that's pretending. I pretend I'm either interested, or I pretend I can cook, or I pretend, I love doing that stuff that you love to do, and I don't. And they find it out months later, and that's why I haven't had a relationship past 4 months.
It just sounds like your entire life is an episode of Thank God You're Here. Just making it up as you go along. Well, I hope people at home have been writing down those techniques, and feel free to use them. Fishing, the Christian spiel.
I've got one more that I heard in a bar. I was in Sydney, and this Scottish guy walked up to a friend of mine, a girl that was there. He walked up to her and he put his hand on the shoulder that was closest to him, and he said, "If you were a pirate, would you wear your parrot here?" And then he put his arm around her and said, "Or here." And she just went for it. She just thought it was the best thing she'd ever heard in her life.
And was that his...
Really?
Did he bung that voice on, or does he really talk like that?
He talks like that, and she was just like, "Oh my God." She thought it was so awesome.
Wow.
I don't get it.
Well, I have to do it.
Oh,
in
I
the
see.
break.
Here we go. We'll see if it works. Come on, Ed, give it a burl.
Okay, it goes like this. So I say, if you're standing next to me, and I put my hand on your shoulder, I say, "If you were a pirate, would you wear your parrot here?" And then I kind of move around, so I'm hugging you, or here. See what I mean?
All right.
I wouldn't have a parrot.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like the handcuffs here, or would you like them back
It's not
here?
mine.
It is. The thing is that now that you've said that in national radio, this is going to be an outbreak of people showing up at nightclubs dressed as buccaneers, seeing if that trick works. Well, we hope
glad
that the Lovelorn have received some information here.
I wouldn't wear a parrot.
Fifi Box has been sitting in for the whole hour. Terrorism. Let's talk about terrorism. Listen to how paranoid the world has become. In England, a bloke is getting a cab to the airport. He's got his iPod happening. He says, "Can you put it through the speakers in the cab?" So he's listening to songs in the cab. He's then got onto the plane and been arrested and hauled off to jail because of the lyrics of the songs he was playing. The cab driver became suspicious and went, "Clearly Al-Qaeda." What were the songs? The songs were the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin and the Clash's London Calling. London Calling begins with "London calling to the faraway towns, now war is declared and battle come down." And of course the Immigrant Song starts, "The hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new lands to fight the horde, singing and crying Valhalla, I am coming," which I think is the new corporate catchphrase for Triple M.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But how's that? So just song lyrics can make you suspicious.
But one of the most popular played, I mean, it's on high rotation on our playlist, so we're in trouble, London Calling.
Yeah, but can that just happen? I'm trying to think what other lyrics could get you into trouble.
I don't know if it'll get you into trouble, but my favourite song lyric ever is "I likes to move it, move it."
Arrest that man. I've been rolling down the road trying to loosen my load. I've got 7 women on my mind. That load, clearly Semtex.
What about Tom Jones? Sex bomb, sex bomb. I'm your sex bomb.
Oh, he's got to be taken into a dark room with a pillowcase over his head and bashed around till he reveals what he's up to. Something is clearly unusual, Mr. Jones.
You know, talking about Tom Jones, you know, they throw underwear at him.
Yes.
I saw Farnsey in concert a little while. Oh, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. And the women in the front couple of rows, they're a little older now, so they can't really kind of get up much, you know, steam with the throw. So they kind of go up and politely hand them to Farnsey.
Oh, right.
And one lady went up there and sort of gave him one pair. And Farnsey was like, "Thank you," and starts walking off. And she had made a huge underwear chain that stretched the length of the stage. And Farnsey tied it to one thing on one side of the stage, and then another thing on the other side. So it was like a low velvet rope of women's underwear.
Or a clothesline.
Yeah, or a clothesline.
And there's a couple of things there. Firstly, I love the idea. So the young people are into the Farnsey music, are they?
Just losers like me. I just think he's a bit of an icon. Like, you should go and see him. You know, go and check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
And so I like the idea. So they can't get. What did you say? They can't get the steam up the chuck. So they just take it up to him.
They sort of ask, "Excuse me, please," and they walk past you and they kind of just hand it to him.
Yes, I'm not going to be able to get that up onto the stage. I might just pop it in the post. But now, is this something, Fifi, is this something that you guys have been talking about, the Britney Spears statue? I know it's been out for a couple of weeks, but we're a new show. So
I know. No, well,
we
usually we don't do late breaking news, we do old news. And we haven't even got to this yet, so we'll do this next week.
People know the statue I'm talking about. It's Britney Spears on all fours about to give birth on a bearskin rug, and the baby's head is just starting to pop out. And that must have been a bloody hard pose to maintain for the sculptor. It's starting to come out. Just hold it there.
It's better to sit still.
And pro-choicers reckon the statue is making an anti-abortion statement. How is that an anti-abortion statement? I would have thought Britney Spears having a baby, that's a pro-abortion message, isn't it? Let's stop the bloodline now. I think it's time to wind up. Anything you want to plug for the shebang, which is heard in all states except Adelaide, I should point out?
Yes, that's right. Plug for the shebang.
You haven't done any work at all
Nothing.
for today's program.
I have no idea what's coming up this afternoon.
There's a little bit more juice in the New Weekly, I reckon, there, Fifi.
Yes, there'll be some late breaking news from New Weekly.
We've had, I tell you what, we'll loan you the next item and you can play it on your show because we've had a lot of requests, Bear, for people to hear the fart joke again.
My message to the people of West Papua is simply this. That's my message to them.
And on that classy note, I think it's time to sign off. Thank you very much for coming in today, Fifi.
My pleasure.
Get this weekday mornings from 9 on Triple M.